Hello, welcome back. Today's thought: what if society actually prioritized happiness over productivity? Like, what if the main goal wasn't to get more stuff done, but to just be happy? It sounds awesome, right? Just imagine waking up every day and instead of stressing over deadlines or to-do lists, your biggest priority is finding joy in your day. But hold on, how would that even work? And why aren't we doing it already? Let's start with the workplace. If happiness was the main goal, you'd probably see things like shorter work weeks, maybe something like 4 days a week or even less. Flexible hours would be the norm, so people could work when they feel their best and take breaks when they need them. Imagine more vacation days without feeling guilty for using them. Or better yet, no one even asking how much you get done in a day. Instead, the question would be, are you happy at work? That would totally flip things, right? This isn't just wishful thinking either. Look at places like Denmark or the Netherlands, where work-life balance is already a huge priority. They work fewer hours, take longer vacations, and guess what? They're not just happier, but more productive in the long run. Crazy, right? But it's not just about work. Let's talk about education. Imagine going to school not to cram for tests or chase grades, but to learn for the sheer joy of it. You'd see more art classes, music, sports, and just time to play. Schools could focus on mental health, social skills, and creativity instead of pushing kids to memorize random facts just to pass exams. Kids would learn how to manage stress, how to connect with others, and how to enjoy life. Skills that actually matter in the real world. Now, don't get me wrong, learning's important, but it could be so much more about growing as a person than just getting ready for some future job. And honestly, happy kids grow up to be happy adults. So it's a win-win. Speaking of happiness, healthcare would look completely different too. Right now, it's mostly about fixing things once they go wrong. But if we focused on happiness, we'd have a system built more around prevention and well-being. There'd be more mental health services, more focus on managing stress and staying healthy before things go south. Doctors might start prescribing time spent in nature instead of just pills. It'd be about keeping people well, not just fixing them when they're sick. And here's another thing that would change: consumerism. We live in a world where people are constantly buying things to feel better. More clothes, more gadgets, more stuff. But let's be real. Does all that really make people happy? If happiness came first, we might focus less on owning things and more on experiences or spending time with people. Think about it. Less stuff, more life. That sounds pretty appealing, right? Now, you might be thinking, cool, but how would this work in the economy? We need people to be productive for the system to run. And yeah, that's the tricky part. Right now, everything's based on GDP, how much stuff we produce and sell. But what if instead of just measuring that, we measured happiness? There's a place that's actually doing this: Bhutan. They've got this thing called Gross National Happiness, GNH instead of GDP. They look at things like mental health, environmental conservation, and social well-being as indicators of success. It's pretty wild, but it works for them. Of course, for a lot of countries, this would be a massive shift. It would mean rethinking the way we run economies, businesses, and pretty much everything else. There's always that concern. What happens to innovation? Will people still invent, create, or push forward if we're all just chilling? And yeah, it's possible that some industries might slow down a bit. But on the flip side, maybe people would be more creative because they're less stressed. When you're not constantly worried about work or money, your mind's free to explore new ideas. Now, let's zoom out and look at society as a whole. If happiness was the focus, we'd probably have stronger communities. People would spend more time with their families, with their friends, and actually get to know their neighbors. I know, sounds kinda old school, but there's something to it. Social connections are a huge part of happiness, and prioritizing those would definitely boost well-being across the board. Plus, when people are happy and feel connected, they tend to help each other more. Okay, now for the real talk. Why aren't we doing this already? The simple answer is that we've been conditioned for so long to value productivity. From the Industrial Revolution to today's hustle culture, we're trained to think that getting things done equals success. It's built into our systems: school, work, government. It's all about efficiency and growth. Happiness, unfortunately, takes a back seat because it doesn't seem as measurable or urgent. There's also this fear that if we prioritize happiness, people won't work hard or society will stagnate. But here's the thing. Happy people are actually more productive. Studies show that happiness boosts productivity by around 13%. So the idea that focusing on happiness would kill productivity is actually a myth. So, is it possible for society to prioritize happiness over productivity? Yeah, totally. It would just require a huge shift in how we measure success and how we structure everything from education to work to the economy. It's not impossible, but it would take time, effort, and a willingness to rethink what really matters in life. At the end of the day, we could create a world where happiness isn't something you chase after you've worked yourself to the bone, but something that's baked into the fabric of everyday life. Wouldn't that be worth it? If this made you rethink how we measure success, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into what-if scenarios that challenge the way we look at life. Bye.